Okay, well, this is Warner Bros. Animation. Now this one and Sony, they have like separate animation groups. I think I just piled all of them together because there wasn't enough individually. I want to say that's what happened. But yeah, what do we got? That's D tier at the bottom. That's the Lego Ninjago movie. I'm a pretty big fan of Ninjago in general. I've been watching it since it first premiered. And the movie was like, okay, that sounds cool. But then it was a whole separate continuity. It wasn't connected to the show at all, which I feel like they could have done that just fine. It's not a small brand by any means. Like, I doubt the reach that it got for people who weren't fans wasn't worth it. It's a very like flanderized version of Ninjago, which is why it's so low. It's a pretty looking movie. I would give it that. The best things I could say about it is like the relationship between Lloyd and Garmadon is pretty well done. It's not really done the same way the show does it, but what it does do is decent. That's probably the best thing the movie has going for it. Otherwise, there's not a lot to like. They got a bunch of celebrity actors which do an okay job. Like Jackie Chan is Sensei Wu, and it doesn't fit really. You're taking like a pre-existing IP that has like, at the point that this came out, like over 10 years of cementing itself into like pop culture and public consciousness and with the fans, and then you're like completely uprooting that for like by the numbers actors and stuff. It just doesn't hit at all. The humor in this movie is what a lot of modern Lego stuff suffers from, where it's trying way too hard to be funny. It ends up like just being annoying. Like I said, it's very flanderized. The characters are not themselves. Like Zane is pretty much just robot jokes the whole movie with like almost no characterization. Lloyd is probably the only one that's like okay. The ninja barely get anything. It's mostly just like a Lloyd movie in Garmadon with Sensei Wu. Oh yeah, and then the thing that they do with all these Lego movies, outside of or after the first Lego movie, is like they try to make it a connected universe, and this probably has the weakest version of it. The Lego movie is so smart with what it did, you know, and the what's the word? The like meta aspects of the story. And this one is like, oh, there's like a cat who's like a kaiju. It's gonna mess up their world, and then they have to like band together and save it from the cat. Like that's it. And like on one hand, it's like I don't want them to force it into every movie, so I'm okay with it being a little subdued compared to Batman movie and Lego movie. On the other hand, it's like, why even bother if it's gonna be so uneventful and shoehorned? Like you could have had a big, Ninjago is known for like these giant threats at the end of their stories. You know, you could have just had the Overlord or something from the show. I don't know. It's just for me, it was pretty disappointing. Yeah, that's Lego Ninjago movie. Next up in D tier is Batman Ninja. Maybe that's a little low. I saw this one around the time it came out. The big selling point was it was a Batman movie, but it was like set in Japan, and also it's 3D animated. The animation is not the greatest. The story I remember just being kind of a lot of um, and there's not a lot on this list because I've seen them, but I've forgotten about them since. But a lot of like direct to video superhero movies. Let's go. We got Genghis Khan. Superhero movies by Warner Bros. And Marvel too are just kind of eh. They're never like too interesting. And besides like the hooks on this movie, it's pretty by the numbers otherwise. I don't even remember most of it. They made a sequel which I heard was better. I wanted to see it. I haven't seen it yet. It's probably more so C tier, but maybe D tier's right since I can't even remember any of it. Next up is in C tier we have Lego Batman movie. That's maybe a little low. I do want to rewatch this because lately I've been seeing people say like this is like one of the greatest Batman movies, like, and they're not even like joking or anything. They're being like legitimate. And I don't remember a ton of it. I just remember it having a bit of a weird vibe. Joker had the whole thing where he was like borderline in love with Batman. At the time I wasn't like a huge Batman fan. Not that I would say I am now, but I'm more familiar with the character, I would say. More than just like a passing interest or, you know, like I used to be. So I might have stronger opinions if I rewatch it now. I do like that, like, for the meta stuff in this film, it was like a bunch of villains teaming up. I thought that was cool. I don't remember much else, you know, besides like the humor was a lot better than that of like Ninjago. It wasn't like annoying or anything. So I'll have to rewatch that one. It's Lego Batman movie. Next up in C tier is Storks. This was like, I remember when this came out, it was just like a, you know, it's like original IP. It's about like the storks that deliver babies and stuff, and one of them gets lost, you know, Yoshi's Island style. And then like this like group of people have to return the baby. And I watched this with my sister. I barely remember anything of it. I just remember like that was okay, you know, that was a okay time. I can't even recall most of it. I just remember being like decent enough. But yeah, that's Storks in C tier. Next up, B tier. Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is kind of crazy because I was looking in my email last night for something, and I came across the email for this when I won free tickets to go see this. So me and my sister went when this came out, and it was good. It was a good movie, you know. It wasn't anything crazy. LeBron James is he's not a good actor at all. The kid in this movie does a better job, and the kid doesn't do a great job. Don Cheadle's the only one who can like really act on the real life human side of things. I actually really like Don Cheadle's character. I thought the aim of this movie to be like a video game was neat, a cool idea. The way in which that plays into like how they win was cool, was neat. I know some people, spoilers obviously, I should have said that at the beginning, spoilers for all this stuff. As some people were a bit miffed that they had the fake death with Bugs Bunny. I didn't care too much. The movie was fine. All the crossover stuff is kind of whatever. you could tell they wanted this to be, Warner Bros. In general wants their stuff to be bigger than it actually is. It's not that they don't have the IP to do that. It's just they're forcing it, I think. You can't just throw in like Iron Giant into everything just because the movie's a cult classic, you know, and then expect people to throw money at it, or like King Kong. It's just a little strange, I guess. It doesn't add anything to the movie from what I remember, other than like a cool backdrop. But the movie itself was fine. I know this one got pretty hated on. I thought it was neat enough. it was fine. Obviously, it's not the original, but it was decent. I've been trying to keep off what's it called? Like live action stuff off of this list, but like Space Jam, the first one is mostly animated. So I'm like, I should probably include that, and if I do that, I should put the second one. And if I do that, I should do the Space Jam sequel, which is the next movie in B tier, which is Looney Tunes Back in Action. This movie was cool. It's like an adventure film. Some weird jokes in there from what I remember. It's one of those films where you can kind of feel the corporate meddling, I guess. Like there's jokes in there about like how, what's his name, Matthew Lillard, played Shaggy in the live action Scooby-Doo. Stuff that when you're younger is just kind of like why would they joke about that, like I like that, and then you get older and then you surf the internet, it's like, oh, people actually hated this at the time. It kind of feels like that sort of sentiment went back into the product, which is never a good thing in my opinion. It like colors creatives' vision, in my experience. But it's a fine enough movie, it's more Looney Tunes, and I like these Looney Tunes films that have like live action stuff in them. I think they're cool. I think the effects that they employ are really cool, like what's it called, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's another one. I just think it's a really appealing style. But yeah, it was a decent upkeep film. Next up is Batman Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. I watched this one recently because I've been watching Batman the Animated Series, or at least around the time that I made this, right? This one is the second movie in Batman the Animated Series. This one feels like an extended episode, which is not bad at all because Batman the Animated Series is quality most of the time, and this film was pretty quality. The ending was beautiful, like just downright beautiful. But its animation's really good. But yeah, that's probably the only thing holding it back. It's just it doesn't feel like its own thing. It feels like again, like an extended episode. But not bad by any metric. Mr. Freeze obviously is one of, if not the best villains in that show. So anything with him is really well done. I love how whenever they bring him back, there's always a pretty big emotional core to it because of the tragedy of his character and how he came into being. And he always revolves around that, and I think that's great. While the other villains always move on to bigger and better plots, Mr. Freeze is always stuck in the past. And it's always done really well. That includes this film. I think next up is Scooby-Doo. I don't know the name of this. Let's see if I can see it. Samurai something. Samurai Sword? Yeah, Samurai Sword. This is one that I grew up with, me and my siblings. We had it on DVD. Just one of those loose discs that you had in like a DVD case. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, you just watch it on repeat because that's all you had, really. Just another Scooby-Doo film. Nothing too crazy to say, even though I've seen it like countless times. Um, there's like a kind of what I was saying about the superhero directive DVD animated stuff. There's like a certain vibe that a lot of those direct to DVD movies have, especially the animated ones, like the Tom and Jerry ones, the Scooby Doo ones. Oh, we're getting like nothing this room. Oh, I guess we got Genghis Khan, right? Count my blessings. I think next one, like I said, I'll actually go to. I only stuck around because I got the Genghis Khan. I'll actually go to Area 4. Maybe I'll just get Tauros and then call it a day in the safaris. I at least like to see a pincer or a scyther, you know? Maybe that catch it, but at least see one. But yeah, there's a certain like I don't know the right word would be. I don't want to say like underdeveloped. It's just a certain feeling that I get from those films where you can kind of feel that they didn't have the biggest production, or they're just kind of lacking in terms of not art design, but like detail. That's probably the best I can give. Like if you ever see the nighttime scenes, or like if they ever do like a aerial shot, usually like the cities are empty, right? There's not a lot of background characters, stuff like that, you know. And you might not be able to place your finger on like what exactly it is, but you can feel it. That's always been it for me. When I talk about indie games and why I'm not like a huge proponent of them, that's somewhat of a similar feeling that I get. And it's not to downplay or to trash talk any of these works, obviously. A lot of great artists worked on this stuff. It's just that's how it feels as a watcher or as a consumer, as a player. That something is just missing there. And that's probably what I can say about the Scooby Doo Samurai Sword. It's like Japanese theme. They go to Japan or something like that. There's like a cursed sword and all this stuff, and someone's got to fix their heritage. You know, the by the numbers Japanese stories that you've, or Japanese inspired Western stories probably that you've seen time and time again. I think maybe we'll save that. Although it's not going to be on this list. I'll talk about that more when we get to a movie coming up. But yeah, that's Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword. Next up is Polar Express. I know this is a cult, not a cult classic. This is a classic by many people. A lot of people grew up with this movie. That's like their Christmas movie. It's just not mine. And it's not a bad movie by any means. I remember watching this at school a lot. What's up, Keo? Hope you're having a good night. I love everything to do with like the train section. I love like the part where they're like on the ice and stuff. That stuff like really connects with me. I've never cared too much about the uncanny animation. This is Warner Bros. Animation. We're on Polar Express right now in the B tier. I know you can't see the tiers, but it's the third one down. You're fine. But it's a charming little film. I think everything, like once they actually get to the North Pole, slows down a lot. I'm okay. It's kind of a whatever day. We're just gonna chill it out. I caught Genghis Khan and Marowak. I'm fishing for Pinsir and Scyther. Let's see if I can catch it. Ah. Wow. yeah, what was I saying? Everything once they get to the North Pole really slows down uh, for me, and the like energy that the film had up to that point kind of goes away. Um, but it's still a great film. I can see why people have this as like their Christmas movie. It's just not mine, but it's still solid. You know, it's a classic for a reason. But yeah, that's Polar Express. That's B tier. Now on to A tier. That's Happy Feet 2. I haven't seen Happy Feet 2 probably since it came out, which was like over 10 years ago. Um, I do remember a decent amount of it, I think. Something about like a nature preservation. It's kind of like Rio too, now I think about it. But they're trying to like save the ice caps or something like that. Um, Happy Feet 2 is one of those strange ones where like a sequel comes out like several years after the first one, but it feels like almost no time passed at all. If that makes sense. And it's pretty solid. I just don't remember. I need to rewatch that one too. Um, yeah, I wish I had more to say about it. That's it for Happy Feet 2 though. Next up is Teen Titans. What is this one? This subtitle. Trouble in Tokyo. This was actually I've got a weird history with this one. Um, so I used to watch Teen Titans when it aired when I was a kid. Um, I watched this one like towards the end. This was like years after the show had ended. And ooh, Tauros. Let's see if we can catch this. And I saw it at the local like rental store, and I got it. I watched it. I liked it. And then like years later, like a few years before now, I went and watched the whole show. But it feels kind of disconnected because there was such a gap uh, between when I watched the whole show proper and when I watched this. And then I was going to rewatch this after I finished the show, but I haven't done that. And now it's going to be years after I watch the show that I finally sit down and rewatch that. But I remember it being pretty good. Like one of the better um, like direct-to-DVD movies based off a TV show. Now, what I was saying about like the Scooby-Doo movie and like superhero direct-to-DVD movies goes for Teen Titans. I don't have Teen Titans on here since, again, I watched it years ago. But the show itself, it has that vibe of just like missing something. But Trouble in Tokyo, I remember, did not, because it did feel like it had a much bigger production behind it. But Teen Titans proper, obviously it's not on here, but I don't rate that show that high, and that's part of it. It's just got like a weird vibe to it that I don't connect with. We catch this one? These Tauros, man. At least it's not running. As soon as I say that. Yeah, that's Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. Next up in A tier, we got Space Jam, the original. This is a classic for a reason. I know some people like absolutely adore this movie. Whenever I rewatch it, it's what's the word? It's just a bit lacking, I would say. But that doesn't mean it's not great. I just don't think it's the greatest movie in the world. But it's fun. It's got some great animation. I love the idea of it. Just the whole concept. I forget their names, but like the aliens that they fight are really cool. I love that, like how their story concludes and like turning on the one guy who's like marketing them, just like exploiting them. It's a classic for a reason. I honestly don't have much to say about it. It kind of speaks for itself, you know. Uh, I love the monsters, yeah, and then I love the whenever they do the super like juice, which is like water. I think about that scene often. um, because it looks so good when they were drinking it. And I'm a big water drinker, so I didn't mean to do that. I always, oh, come on. The stuff, yeah. I always love that scene, but it's a good film, you know. I like there's some great jokes in it too. Oh shoot. Yes, I heard that. That's not too loud, is it? Does that sound normal? I had to like mess with a bunch of settings before I could hear that again. I don't have my bottle on me. Give me a sec. Oh, you can hear it? I'm not gonna work on it right now. I'll mess with it later. That's unfortunate. I don't have any ice. Thank you. I haven't drunk any water today. It's good. That's the stuff right there. Well, that's good to know. Thank you. I'll have to work on it. We're going to Area 4, right? I think it's done. Yes. Oh, I should have went the other way. I don't think there's any grass. It's super far. We're not gonna have any steps left. Item down. Ocean. Oh, maybe this is a shorter distance. Alright, where were we? Oh, next up, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. This is like, I hear often, a lot of people consider this one of the best Batman movies. I thought it was really good. Not like life-changing, but I thought it was a really good movie. I don't have anything bad to say about it other than the ending's a bit of a, not a cliffhanger, but it's kind of vague. I can see it was a little out-ish, but it wasn't like, it didn't bring the movie down or anything. I just felt it was maybe open to interpretation. Some incredible animation here. It's a bit darker than the show itself, which is great. You get some backstory on Batman, which was really good. It helped his character a lot. There's a lot of stuff here that is huge for his character. It slots in perfectly. I think it was between season 1 and 2. No, 2 and 3. It was just great. Like, unlike Sub-Zero, which I talked about in B tier. Ooh, nice. Tauros. I think this one has a pretty low catch rate here. Or, not catch rate. You know what I mean. Appearance. Be nice if we can get something this trip. And I'm not talking about another Nidoran. Oh. Almost out of balls too, which is not great. Let's see. We're in area 4. Oh, Taurus has a 10%. Okay. That's probably why I wanted to come here. Pinsir has a 4%. Angla has a 1. Those are the 3. Oh, unlike Sub-Zero, this one actually has a very strong identity of its own. It's probably one of the best things about it. Also a Joker backstory, which I didn't expect, which was really cool. There's a lot of twists in this movie, which are great. yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It strengthens Batman the Animated Series even more. It's really good. Yeah, that's Mask of the Phantasm. Next up, last in A tier, Happy Feet. That's a classic. I don't even know what to say about Happy Feet. Happy Feet, bona fide classic. The only reason it's not an S tier is just because it's not like a movie that speaks to me personally. But it's one that just great, man. What a like. It's always like how do I say it? Impressive the type of ideas these people come up with, like for animated films. And this is one of those, like, who thought like a dancing penguin would be a great idea for a story? But it is, you know. I love how realistic looking this movie tries to go for, especially for the time that it came out. It looks quite good. I love how it doesn't shy away from like just like the food chain and like animals like eating each other and stuff. It feels pretty natural. Even like for a kid, it didn't feel too scary or anything, although I could see someone being scared of like the sea lion and stuff. The characters are very lively and they feel, it's kind of weird, they kind of feel like they're voice actors, which is usually a problem, but it more so feels like the how do I say it, unlike Ninjago, where it feels like they're voice actors than they are their characters. It feels like the characters in this movie were kind of made around the voice actors, kind of like Ice Age. I feel like those two, it works okay. It's a bit hard to explain, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's great. I don't have anything bad to say about that. I should rewatch that movie. It's been several years since I've seen it. But yeah, that's Happy Feet. That's all of A tier. And then S tier, just two movies. Lego Movie. I think we've talked about this, maybe not. I did rewatch this one fairly recently. And yeah, it's still great. I remember when this came out. I'm not even a big Lego fan. I didn't have Legos growing up. So it was all usually something lost on me. But the story that they had in this film is just excellent. The jokes are really good. This is just like a modern day classic, really. It's very memorable. I love the like, this is before like multiverses were run into the dirt. I think it fits so well to have a bunch of different, oh snap. No, no. Oh man. I've got plenty of steps at least. Hopefully we can find another one. But it fits so well to have like a Lego movie with a bunch of different IPs and stuff. I love Emmett's story. Stuff like even like Batman is like a bona fide character here. He's not just like glorified cameo. It was done so well. They lost the touch. It's actually crazy. They like how well they smashed out of the park the first time. I haven't seen the second one, partially because I heard it wasn't like the greatest. Feels like my fears have come to life with that one, but I should probably watch it at some point. But this is a movie I can watch, you know, for all time, be happy. And that goes doubly so for the next one, which is the Iron Giant. I mean, Iron Giant not need any introduction. Everyone knows the movie, everyone loves it. Spotless film, really. It's gorgeous. I love the those 2000 movies that had like CG and animation, and it blends together pretty well. I just rewatched Atlantis the other day with my friend, And that's another one that does that really well. And that movie was a joy to come back to. This one's always a joy to come back to. The humor's great. It feels very homely. I love the 60s aesthetic. The little, hometown, American hometown, with like an alien there, but the alien's like a giant robot is genius. A very touching ending too. I think about the ending often. I know some people really want a sequel because of the hook at the end. It doesn't need a sequel. Like, come on. It's one of those movies that like can have the what's it called? Like the sequel hook, and it doesn't need to be followed up on. Like the sequel hook works as an ending as well as it does, sequel hook. Same for like Monsters Inc. I think it's just it's better served as a conclusion than anything that actually needs to be followed up on. But yeah, that movie, incredible. I think that's gonna be it for Warner Bros. Pretty decent spread, I would say.